to know her.
Technically, I'm a witch.
Season 2, Vampy D's. Ash is vamp-splaining. Petey's learning about the bros, Stefan and Damon. Pete-dictions coming true. Founding fam's got a plan. Guess who's back in the falls with their eyes on her man's body stacking up? A lot of people H for B. Now what's going on with these Vampire Diaries? Hello, welcome to the Vampire Diaries, The Vampire Diaries podcast where a guy who's only seen one full season of the show thus far, but it began with the premise of me not having seen any of the show in case we got new listeners or whatever, and he started with this episode. For the first time with a super fan who has seen every episode, I'm the titular Petey. Let's just say I put the Petey in Vampedy. But please call me Pete. And I'm here with my co-host and co-parent, Ash.
That's me.
Hello, Ash. Ash, we just were listening to a bit of last week's pod, right?
Yes.
Randomly. We don't usually do that.
No.
I mean, you listen to it. I listen to it to an extent.
But we don't ever listen to it together.
No, but just like for some reason, we were listening to it. And we were talking about Adam Brody in The Ring. Mm-hmm. Okay, he has maybe one scene, right? And iconic. In fact, it will forever stay with me because, like, one of the shot that he basically sets up terrifies my brain. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's like the wake or the funeral type thing for the girls from the cold open. Mm-hmm. And he's sitting on a car, and correct me if all of this is wrong, but listeners, but he's like, yeah, he has like sort of a weird voice, like, yeah, I'm Adam Brody. He doesn't sound like that, but you know, he has such a distinct voice.
He has a distinct voice, but that's not how it sounds.
No, and we knew him from nothing. He wasn't on the OC yet, one of his early roles, and this unique voice comes in, bunch of teens, and he's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. They found her in the closet. And then they cut to the freaking closet.
I know.
And the sound is like, Meow! And then you see the girl's stretched out, scary jaw. So scary.
Yeah, that shot is so scary. I think I tried to, like, block it out where I can imagine the closet and I know there's a body in there, but I can't see the face because it's too scary.
Yeah, I mean, I've Googled it and stuff.
Oh, no.
Just because I was like, was it that scary? Yes, it was.
Yeah, I blocked out what the face looked like.
I mean, so in the theater watching it immediately, I was like, I can't watch this movie. But I was with my big bro, and we continued to watch it.
It's one of the scariest movies.
And it continued to be super scary. But then, like, I've rewatched it, you know, probably 3 times throughout my life. And during that part, I'm like, I'm just going to, like, focus my eyes. Looks like I'm looking at the television. I'm going to focus my eyes elsewhere. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so scary.
Don't describe it in any more detail because I do not need that memory again.
No, and by now, with the old age of my brain deteriorating, I thankfully can't pull it that
clearly.
That clearly.
That's good.
Yeah. The Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, let's do it.
Season 2, episode 10, The Sacrifice.
Yes.
Ash, episode 10, that means we're almost at episode 11, which will be halfway through season 2.
I know, it's crazy. And we started this podcast when the pandemic started.
Yes.
Which, like, how into March do you remember when we started?
I believe we began.
Yes, I can look.
I believe we began actually recording in April and maybe began and posted like the first episode in May.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we're coming up on a year of like when I lost my job and stuff like that. But we're not quite at a year of the pod quite yet.
Right. Season 1, episode 1. How do you know? Details? May 28th is when it was posted.
Nice.
So yeah,
I think we had banked a couple. We had been watching it and recording through April and early May.
That's when distance learning was really chill.
Yeah, and
It's gotten so crazy since then.
we were watching Love Is Blind.
Yep.
Started Tiger King. It didn't catch fire for us like
No.
everyone else.
We were not super into it. We didn't even finish. Oh no, we did finish Love Is Blind.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, Love Is Blind was great. But yeah, about a year now. It's been been the pandemic and almost a year for our podcast,
Yeah, coming up.
which is cool. We've done a season and a half basically in a year.
Yeah, we've done 32 eps plus a couple bonus eps.
That's great.
But anyway, this episode.
Yeah. Okay. Just a little timeline.
Yeah, a little Adam Brody, a little 1 year of life. Ash, speaking of cold opens, no VHS tapes were watched in this cold open.
No. Thank goodness.
Elena in the night in her house.
Sleeping on top of her covers with a blanket with her diary open right next to her.
Yes, her diary about vampires.
Right. They still have to show a diary here and there.
It probably is contractually, there has to be a diary every like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, just to be like, remember
Or else it's just going to be called The Vampires.
doing stuff.
Or The Vampires Who Live in Mystic Falls.
Good thing it's not called the Doppelganger Diaries.
Oof.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It'd be terrible.
The Doppelganger Gilbert Gurnals. Luca's dad. Did we get a name on him? I'm not going to put you on the spot, but
I don't remember.
I'm going to call him Luca's dad. He's creeping around in her house. Shirtless Alaric and Jenna.
I know. I had a weird moment at this scene, not remembering for a second who it was going to be. And I saw a flash of a chest, and I was like, is that Jeremy shirtless? And then it was Alaric, and I was a little bit disappointed.
Then it was a man's chest.
Yeah. Oh, then I was like, oh, I shouldn't have said that to myself in my brain.
Whatever. We think Jeremy's a young hunk in training.
Yeah.
He's a young Hercules. You know, little Ryan Gosling was young Hercules.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do know that.
They're eating ice cream after boning.
Yep.
It's totes awk.
Yes, it is.
Ash, a teacher in your house?
I don't know. My friends are teachers, and I've taught their kids, and we've been at each other's houses and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you're in your underwear, that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't even want, like, students that I know to, like, see me at the beach.
No, or like, and that's why you're private on Instagram.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's why y'all can't follow her.
No.
Gotta come through me. Luca's dad is stealing hair and stuff. Like, he's going to town. He's stealing everything. He puts a picture frame under his shirt and stuff like that.
I know. He stole, like, almost everything off of Elena's desk. Like, if Elena walks to her desk even once, she's going to be like, all my stuff is gone.
It's just bare now.
Yeah.
It was tastefully set decorated, and now it's just a bare
Just
desk.
everything he took. He took the hair off the brush, and then later he just took the whole brush.
Yeah. Alaric has been staying over a lot. Then Elena, she curls back up on her bed with her diary about vampires and puts the like throw blanket back on top of her.
Yeah. Commit to the sleep, Elena.
Yep. And Luca's dad sneaks out.
Yeah.
The Salvatore bros go down into the tomb where Catherine is being held. Mm-hmm. They open it up. They pull the big old rock away.
Yeah, and it was a little inconsistent with how heavy this door was. Let me just tell you. Because Caroline moved it, like, pretty easily all by herself. Mm-hmm. And then Stefan and Damon moved it, and they were like, 1, 2, 3. And Stefan looked like it was no big deal, but Damon made a face like it was so heavy.
Yeah, they need to get
They needed
on
to
the
get
same
on
page.
they need to get on the same page on how heavy is this door?
Yeah.
And how strong are we?
Yeah. Catherine invites them into the tomb. Come on in, boys. Mm-hmm. But they ask for the moonstone. She wants to get out of the tomb, Even though earlier she was like, I'm just going to sit here and read this book, which the book wasn't there anymore, it seems like.
Yeah, she
Or
was
she read it all.
She was going to hang out and not be in danger from Klaus. But now she's like, let me out.
Now she's hungry and bored. If she gets out, she'll disappear from Mystic Falls forever.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get out of here. I'll leave you alone. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
The bros go to hang out with Elena where they at, the Salvatore Mansion or something.
Mm-hmm.
They catch her up on the Moonstone, spell-breaking stuff. They have a plan to get the Moonstone, but Elena doesn't want them to do it. She doesn't want Klaus to kill everyone she loves.
Right.
Luca is talking to Bonnie at school about witch stuff. Grams would tell... He's like, when did you know you were a witch? Who was telling you were a witch? Blah, blah, blah. And Bonnie's like, well, Grams would say I was a witch when she was drunk when I was little.
Yeah.
And she was always drunk.
So I didn't believe her.
Mm-hmm.
Then I found out 3 months ago.
Luca says that Bonnie is trying to do too much by herself. That's why she has nosebleeds.
And blackouts.
And asks if she's ever channeled another witch before.
Mm-hmm.
And then they swap jewelry and they're channeling.
Mm-hmm. And making it super windy and leaves are flying everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And Bonnie's into it and she's like, we should go somewhere else and channel some more sometime. Kind of making that up.
Mm-hmm.
She also said, these are all jokes that I wrote in the moment.
Okay.
Sometimes I channel in the bathtub, she says. And Ash said, so many papers fly around. You know what I love, Ash, in movies, probably a late 90s movie, is you can tell someone's having a bad, end of Act 1 when they come out of their office building, their briefcase opens up and papers just fly out.
Yeah, I mean, it's the most annoying thing for your papers to fly around.
Yeah.
Because then you have to run, and you have to run in several directions.
Your papers have all footprints on them and
They're
stuff.
all out of order.
And this was late 90s, so you couldn't just, you didn't have, access to digital copies.
And also printing used to take a long time.
It was expensive, probably.
Yeah, I remember how long it took to print one page. It'd be like, "Faint,
Oh,
faint,
but this,
faint," and that would give you one line of sentence.
yeah, it would be 3 cranks for one line of type.
Yes.
But also, Ash, this was a little bit after this, I'm saying late 90s, but if it was just a couple years earlier, they would have all been bound together in accordion style with those little perforations on the side.
Yeah.
If that flew out of your briefcase, then you could just be zoop, 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 zoop,
You just grab one side.
pull it back like a quick accordion.
That would be better, actually.
Yeah.
Should have stuck with the accordion paper.
So either you're too early and you have the accordion style and you're fine, or a little bit later, a couple of years later, it's all digital or whatever. But if you were just a bad dad, who was missing his kid's baseball game during those couple of years,
Your papers are flying
your
everywhere.
papers are gone.
Yep.
You flubbed the report. You didn't get to your kid's baseball game in time, and they
hate you for life.
they hate you and they make a wish against you of some sort, and you got to do something for the whole for 90 minutes.
Is this just the plot of Liar Liar?
Basically,
Yeah, okay.
but also many more. Ash, Jeremy walks up while Luca and Bonnie are channeling.
Yeah, they're channeling, all right.
And he's like, what's up with the weather? Luca then leaves. He is like, I'm going to go channel for a second.
And Jeremy's like, that guy's weird.
Yeah.
And Bonnie's like, no, he's not.
Yeah, and then Bonnie, gets her two-way pager sidekick apparatus. She gets a message from Damon. Elena is over at the Salvatore Mansion. Rose must have been banging Damon, huh?
Yeah. We already know that they did once.
Well, they did again.
Yeah. But also...
They were channeling.
Okay, but in this moment, it's not clear to Elena that Rose was doing Damon. She could have been doing Stefan because it's not said. I wonder if Elena has a little insecurity moment of I hope it was just Damon and not Stefan.
Yeah, that's definitely that's
The little
moment.
subtext.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did a little subtext learning when I was in theater class in high school.
Ooh.
We had to read scripts and then write the subtext that would go along with it a lot of times.
I had to do a little of that in directing class.
Mm-hmm. It's a good skill. It helps you really understand what you're reading and what you're watching.
Yeah, and not just you can learn that in shows, plays, whatever, in the written word, people are saying things, but they don't necessarily mean that.
Yeah.
Joey Tribbiani does smell the fart acting, so he's like, So that's where he puts in a little subtext of like, I'm thinking, I'm smelling the fart. But it makes, if you're smelling the fart,
Makes you have a thinking face.
yeah.
Subtext.
Subtext.
So Elena's like, Rose?
But what I
do?
was going to Pete-dict
okay.
is probably Elena is also just salty that Rose was banging Damon also because she wants a little of this, a little of that.
Interesting.
A little, she wants...
Wait, what's that song? We might have to cut this. You can have it this, or you can be with that.
You can get with this, or you can go with that.
What was that from?
It's, I don't know. You can get with this, or you can get with that. It's just an old hip-hop song.
Okay.
Elena wants more info from Slater.
And we know Slater's dead.
She wants to use Rose and Bonnie instead of Damon and Stefan's plan. And I don't really get either of their plans, Ash. In this part, I was like, all right, let me distill these plans in my notes. And then I was like, I don't get either plan.
Okay, Elena wants to bribe Rose to get a daylight ring made for her by Bonnie. And
Did not catch that.
because she was like, well, I know someone who can help you walk in the light.
Oh, okay,
blah,
yeah.
Blah, blah. So we know that she would, if Rose helped Elena, then she would reward Rose with a daylight ring because she'd be like, Bonnie, make Rose a daylight ring. And Bonnie would be like, okay, I guess. That's what Elena is assuming. And so we didn't know Elena's hidden agenda at this moment. But that's revealed later. So she's just trying to get to send a message to Klaus. She wants to get to Klaus through Slater.
Got it. And then what's Damon and Stephanie even trying to do?
They were told by Slater that they could break the curse with the Moonstone without having to kill Elena. So they're trying to figure that all out.
Got it.
And so they just only want the Moonstone. They're just trying to get the Moonstone out of the tomb, away from Catherine, but still keep Catherine in the tomb. So they're like, okay, we need to open the tomb. We need to subdue Catherine in a way to be able to and cancel the spell for 5 minutes or whatever, both at the same time, so that one of the bros can go in, get the Moonstone, get back out before the spell resumes and Catherine wakes up.
Okay, and that makes more sense because then both of them set out about their plans, both groups, and both groups suck at it.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Ty.
You must have been so confused.
Well, then I saw them doing it, and I was like, I guess this is what they're doing. I don't know. Ty is b-balling.
Yeah.
I think he's the actor, as we know. I have Baldar. I can tell if someone's good at playing basketball. I've mentioned it on the pod, I believe.
Yeah.
I have Baldar, and I think Ty is pretty good.
Baldar sounds like the name of someone from Lord of the Rings.
Ooh. Maybe that'll be in the next one. Matt rolls up. Haven't seen Matt in a hot minute.
Not since the party.
Matt is mad at himself for picking the fight and feels guilty about Sarah. Matt. Matt looks a little rough in this one.
I think he's supposed to look rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the actor is going through a tough time. No. Yeah, Caroline is there, and Matt asks Matt how he's been. Matt is messed up.
Yeah, not good. He's not doing good.
Then Caroline walks over to Ty. It's almost a full moon. Caroline's all up in Ty's business. What's he going to do? He says his plan is private, which we just kind of learn he doesn't really have a plan. I mean, he shows her some stuff later, but
yeah,
it seems like he doesn't. He's like,
Yeah, he doesn't really know, but also he doesn't really want to, like, talk about it.
He doesn't want Caroline's help, or does he? And then I said, she's going to see a nude Ty turn into a wolf. It's going to be like the cover of an Animorphs book. It's going to be Ty turned into a wolf. Some pants are going to be bursting off at one point. You know, it's going to be like, Bonnie is planning with Stefan, Damon, and Jeremy. Damon's kind of like, why is Jeremy here? Jeremy wants to go in and get the moonstone. He has his ring. Bonnie asks if they have anything of Catherine's. Mm-hmm. And it intercuts a little bit. We see later Stefan is like, this picture of Catherine is Catherine's. Like,
right.
Okay.
Yeah, because what else of hers would he have that would make sense?
I don't know, but technically it's a selfie. No, it's not. Elena and Rose go back to Slater's place, and they knock, and no one's there, and they go in, and he's staked up.
Yep, on the floor.
Whoever blew up the coffee shop, the coffee shop,
Coffee shop.
whoever blew up that coffee shop stole Slater's info.
On his computers.
He has a lot of computers,
We
see.
had like 8 computers.
Yeah. It looked like they took like 2 of the setups for the editors who edit the show and just smashed them together.
Well, I just like, I know he went to school a lot and he was learning, but like, it's not like he was learning them all at once. Why did he need so many computers? I don't know.
Why would anyone need that many computers?
Unless you're doing like surveillance, that could be the only guess.
Yeah, they truly don't. Then they just use one computer to type in the password and stuff.
Yeah.
They don't even, and then maybe they use another monitor to look at the files or whatever, but they should like have used all those monitors or just give him like one really nice one computer.
It made no sense for him to have that many computers.
I feel like they had just seen the movie Swordfish and they wanted to like have sort of like a John Travolta type setup.
Oh my gosh.
Rose opens the windows and there's UV glass there as well.
Elena's like, what are you doing?
In anything I write from now on, I'm going to have people open the windows and be like UV glass since they do it so often.
Yeah.
She used to go there and just watch the day, Ash. She's a poet.
Watch the day.
Rose is a poet. Elena can't get into Slater's 7 computers. There's a rattling at the door. Alice is there. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, Ash.
What?
I was thinking of something earlier. Okay. So I just started watching a new Stephen King show. Uh-huh. Nothing about that, but when I'm watching that, like, kids, and we have kids, they can get into some scary stuff in that. Like, when I'm watching something and there's, like, a kid who's like, well, like The Sixth Sense, I see dead people, and it's like, stop talking about that, you know? But, you don't see a lot of vampire children.
No.
And there is one, Kirsten Dunst in Interview with a Vampire. She's like a younger teen or something. Uh-huh. But I think a vampire kid would be so scary.
So scary.
They'd be up all night. Also, they would age, so they would be a grown-up in a kid's body. That's scary.
Yes.
Vampire kids.
Ew.
So scary.
So scary. And also when you were talking about The Sixth Sense, I see dead people. I do know a kid in real life who has seen ghosts and talked to them and stuff. And then they were like, oh, his name is such and such. And he was this job and this and that. this is like a 5-year-old kid. And then
Yeah.
they did research on the property, and they found out that it was true.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You hear about that sometimes, and
It's
yeah.
really scary.
Yeah. Kids are scary
Yes.
overall
Kids are scary.
in every way.
I'm glad they're not vampire kids.
Stefan finds the picture of Catherine. It was hers. Barney.
Who are you trying to say?
Bonnie. Barney comes in. He's like,
Wait, we didn't even say who was
Alice
Alice.
Alice is later. We'll talk about
No,
that.
but you just mentioned her, but she was I can never think of the name Slater. She was Slater's like girlfriend. She wanted to be turned to a vampire.
Yeah. His human girlfriend.
Yeah. Her goth girlfriend.
Yeah, emo alt gal. Mm-hmm. Barney.
Okay, yeah. Say it again about Bonnie.
She starts witching the picture
Yes.
of Catherine.
She's like, I can turn it to ash. I'm like, you're gonna turn it into me, girl.
She goes whoosh, and then all of a sudden it's a picture
It's
of
me?
Ash from like Ocean City, Maryland, in the Western wear.
What? No,
You know,
I'm
you
just
take
kidding.
those sepia photos.
Yeah, I did actually. I don't know if I ever have.
Seems like something you would have done.
No, but my parents were like, "That's too expensive," so I can never do it.
Here's something that I never
then they
did.
would buy me a whole bunch of like lollipops or something.
Here's something that I never did that I know you did. Scopes.
Oh my gosh, we did scopes every summer.
This is something that is not universal.
Why didn't you do it? You didn't go. To
I didn't even
Ocean
go to
City?
Ocean City, really.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Only beach week. But no, Ash, explain what scopes are. Our international listeners aren't going to know what scopes are.
I think a
don't
lot
think.
of people aren't going to know what scopes are. So it's a like a viewfinder kind of toy where it's like a very teeny tiny picture, but you put it to your eyes and you can like click it and you can see the image big.
That is a viewfinder, yeah.
Okay, it's like an individual viewfinder.
Yes.
But the picture is of your family
At the
on
beach.
vacation.
Yeah.
And it's on a keychain.
They might have this at like Disney or something. I'm not sure.
Okay, but the best part about scopes are the photographers because they
Oh,
are
they're-
so hot.
Yeah, they're hunks or
Babes.
babes. Yeah.
And you're like a little tween or a little kid or whatever, and there's like this super hot person jogging up to you and being like, "Can I take your picture today?" And they
Yeah.
have like 100 scopes on their leg, like hanging off their clothes, and you can hear it like rattling as they're jogging past, and they're so tan because they go to the beach every day for
And they're
their
just
job.
getting like nonstop cardio. But Ash, and
Yeah.
we know about like lifeguard sensualization and fetishization, but lifeguards have to be trained in a sort of way. These scopes people can just be hot. They can be like
Yeah.
dropout lifeguards.
And they just
That's how hot they can be.
yeah, and they just take pictures of you like in a stack laying on top of each other or kneeling in the sand or like
Dad's buried up to his neck in the sand.
yeah, just like real silly beach pictures. But this was also like this was way before smartphones. You didn't have your camera with you on the beach.
No. You
So-
might have a disposable if you were rich.
So to have like a picture of your family on the beach, that was pretty unique.
Yeah, and then you put it on your keychain and you
You hold it up to the light.
with your crush who you don't like, but your crush is crushing on you, and they're like, "But you got a scope of us," and you're like, "But who took the picture?"
Oh gosh, I'm clueless.
Elton.
But yeah, you have to hold it up to the light to be able to see the picture.
Yes, and I would say just to give a little bit more description, it's like a keychain. It's about 2 inches long. It has a little tiny picture with sort of a fisheye viewfindery lens that blows up the picture when you
look
put
in
it
the light.
in the light. So like a viewfinder, like
But
you
also,
said.
what a great invention.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's still popping off in
We gotta get some scopes.
beach communities. Yeah. I want
And then you'd have to like drive to the scope place and like, can we get our scopes ready now? You have to get them at like, you would have to plan out your scopes because you don't want to get them too early in your vacation because everyone's really pale. But you don't want to get them too late in your vacation because
everyone's burnt.
Everyone's burnt, and they have to have time to develop the pictures, and you have to be able to pick them up before you leave.
Wow, they had quite a racket going.
Yeah.
What if scopes were 100% only in Ocean City, Maryland, and they never broke out of...
That might be true because I don't know if they're anywhere else.
Yeah. What if, yeah, did I already say that, that Stefan went and grabbed his scope of him and Catherine?
No, I had no idea what we were talking about before this because I got really into scopes. There's also a scope of me where I'm missing my 8 front teeth.
Yikes.
I'm like,
you should have seen the other guy, though.
like,
Ty,
why did we take a picture of that?
Ty and Caroline in the woods. They're walking through the woods. They talk about Matt. You can't be honest with him about being a vampire, Ty says. Mm-hmm. He is taking Caroline to the uncle basement. They go into the uncle basement.
And she's like, he's mentioning what it is and where it is. She's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, she's been down in that basement.
Yeah, when her mom was down there trying to kill Stefan and Damon.
Mm-hmm. They find Mason's chains. This place was used for full moons. And Ty's like, it needs new chains, but the bolts are good. And I was like, okay, Ty. Caroline finds a package, another diary, a werewolf diary? Whoa. Okay.
Change the title.
Yep. I'm out. Last episode for me. I'm watching a show called The Vampire Diaries, not the vampire and werewolf and human diaries.
Right. The diaries of people and things and creatures.
And then, either Caroline or Ty is like, does it say what happened? And my note was like, they look through it and it's like, oh no, oh man, the full moon's coming up. This sucks. And then it just says growl.
Yeah. It's just like scratched.
But Ty also finds an SD card.
Yes.
A
whole memory card.
Memory card for recording video. Mm-hmm. Bonnie has some ashes. They prepare to go. Jeremy tells Bonnie she's not strong enough. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because he's seen her pass out and bleed from her nose.
Mm-hmm. There's a sexy finger to the lips moment from Bonnie on Jeremy.
Yeah, she doesn't want him to say that word. Damon and Stefan can hear him. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, stop. Shh.
Little pointer finger to the lower lip action.
No.
And then I said Jeremy takes out his ID or whatever and steals some ashes like it's some cocaine.
Some cocaine.
Yeah, some Bolivian shale.
Oh, I've never heard that before.
Some nose candy ash.
Yeah, he does like, swoop. I'm like, what's he about to do with that? Oh, good. He's just stealing it.
Yeah. He actually does a line first, too, though.
Ugh.
Some Catherine ashes.
Oh, gosh.
Rose is talking smack about Alice. She was dating Slater to turn her. Mm-hmm. So we know that there's this subculture.
Yeah.
Elena tells this girl her whole deal. Alice. Mm-hmm. Asks Slater's computer password, and Alice gets all offended. My boyfriend just got killed, and you're asking his password?
And then she's like, he backs it up on a separate drive, and she gets all
like
techie.
In the cloud or whatever.
Yeah, and she gets, no, not the cloud.
Oh, okay.
She gets all techie with it like 1 second later, even though she was just so upset right before that.
Ash, I was distracted by the amount of brunettes in that room. Who said blondes have more fun?
Not me.
Elena is tricking Alice. She's like, what if Rose turns you instead? And Alice is like, okay.
Yeah, she's just trying to get people to do stuff that for her.
Yeah, Elena, you could, if someone else was telling the story, they could paint Elena in bad light.
Yeah. Well, she's like, she has her own plan, and she's just trying to get it done.
Kristen Stewart was the password of one of these computers, I gather.
Yeah, and she was like, obvious.
They're trying to send a message to Klaus. The doppelganger is ready. Rose is like, what? Klaus will find you and kill you. And he sees you when you're sleeping and knows when you're awake. Santa Claus.
Right.
Cody is on the way.
Some random Cody.
They will drop a name and just...
That's just it.
You'll just see that person later. Ash, in Children of the Corn, they had like biblical type names. It was Ezekiel and Martha and all this. Should that be going on with the vampires? Shouldn't they have old names? Cody?
But vampires aren't all old.
Slater, though?
Caroline?
When was he turned? 93?
Yeah. No, because he went to college in the 70s. I hear you. I feel like, yeah, there should be some more, like, distinguished older names for the vamps. But not all vamps are old. They're just a human.
I know, but if...
And then they get turned.
Right. But if it's like, oh, we need to get to Klaus... Fine. Well, let's get his his Brody Cody down here.
All right, then rename Cody. What should his name be?
Cody. Codadiah. Jeremy goes into the tomb, Ash. Catherine said, "Oh, okay. I got too excited too early." He walks down into the tomb. I'm about to say in a minute that he actually runs in there like a fool. But Catherine is like, come and get it. He does like one of these Alaric shooting stake things. Yes. And then he ashes her. Like a fat blunt, he ashes her. Not that I would know. She doesn't have the moonstone on her person, on her body.
Aren't you thinking this whole time, like, Jeremy, why are you going so slow? He's just like, where is it? And then he, like, slowly walks around the tomb. It's like, you gotta go in there like it's, what's that game?
Supermarket Sweep.
I was gonna say that, but that's not what I was thinking. Like, Double Dare, where you have to go and find the flag in, like, the pile of the...
Up the nose and the boogers.
You have to just, like, you're running. You have to run the whole time.
Pretend the moonstone is a flag and a nose full of boogers.
Yes.
I thought it was weird. He was like touching her body, and it's like his sister's exact body. That's what I thought.
He hugs his sister like she's not his sister. So
yeah, that's true. So maybe he was like the perfect crime. Catherine bite. Oh, it is all displayed out like a Bath and Body Works display in the back. Yeah. So he goes and he's like, oh, but then Catherine comes and bites him.
Yeah. Well, he gets it, but then she bites him on the neck.
Yep.
And when these vamps bite necks, they, like, cock their head back so far, and they're like...
They do.
It's very dramatic.
Rose calls Damon and tells him to get to Richmond immediately.
Which we know is very far away.
Yes, it's about 2 to 4 hours.
You were so mad. How did you get there so fast? Okay.
No, but people bip and bop back and forth.
I know.
Luca's here. Luca's dad is here. He's there.
Yeah, they're just driving around Virginia.
He's up in Fairfax for a second.
Which old church.
Yep. Catherine has Jeremy and will keep killing him because he's wearing the ring, and she keeps feeding on him, and Jeremy's like, my bad. Elijah and Luca's dad are in Slater's crib, right? Luca's dad does the big hand slice we're used to seeing, the big cut across the palm.
I know, not a little paper cut.
No. And they're doing spells. Elijah sees Elena in the window, and like Elena sees him in the window.
He was using like a sort of like a locator spell to find where Elena was.
Oh yeah, they're somewhere else because Elena's at Slater's place.
Yeah,
they're in some other Richmond location.
Yeah, they're close by, but they're not in the same place.
They're not at the Sherman Oaks Galleria. They're at like maybe the public school restaurant.
Yeah.
Or the
What's that store across the street?
Urban Home.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're at like the Urban Home.
Oh no, not the Urban Home. The other one.
Oh, World Market?
World Market.
Yeah, they're at like the World Market, basically. Mm-hmm. This all makes sense. He's like, I know exactly where she is.
I saw her.
She is at the Cheesecake Factory.
With 17 computers.
Stefan and Bonnie are still trying to do their plan. Luca feels Bonnie. He's back at his place. His dad is all of a sudden back at their place, right?
Yeah.
Luca feels Bonnie doing the spell, and the dad is suspicious.
Right.
Maybe Luca's dad can do like a transportation spell.
Well, I told you he's a warlock or whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Luca is feeling Bonnie is using him. Well, it's his own fault. She didn't know till that morning.
Yeah, I mean...
Your nose just made a very loud whistle.
I'm going to leave it in. I'm proud of it. Yeah, it's like, are your ears burning? Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about you.
Yeah. Is your nose bleeding? Thank you.
Uh-huh. Is your chest hurting and you're falling on the floor? I'm channeling with you. Mm-hmm. Ty and Caroline are watching Mason's selfie vid.
Yeah, what did you think about this vid?
Mason taped his transformation. He's drinking Wolf's Bane. He throws his bike. Remember that?
Yeah.
This was truly Mason. All right, look, he looked kind of different. Like in the video, he
looked younger. They did a good job.
I think that they filmed it obviously a little later, and like Mason was like, "Ooh, I'm going to be on TV again," the actor, and so he prepped up a little bit, got a little haircut. He looks a little younger, yeah. I think he's like, yeah, he freshened up for the vid. But anyway, this was truly, he was like, all right, I know I'm dead in the show, but the actor, he was like, but I'm going to give him something. Mm-hmm. And so he was like improvising in the video and stuff. So
he threw the bike.
He threw the bike. I thought it was funny he threw the bike.
It was funny. But he's in so much pain and it was just like in his way. Like, think about if you stub your toe and there's like a book next to you, you're going to throw it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just want to throw the ottoman into the TV.
Yeah, if something brings you pain, you're going to throw it.
Yep. His video is super long. He turns into a wolf at midnight. Mm-hmm. Seems like. But
yeah, he's transforming for hours and he's in so much pain. He's just screaming. And Mason's like a big, tough guy.
Yeah.
Especially compared to Tyler. And Tyler's like literally brought to tears. Like, I can't do this.
Yeah, he says, I can't go through with that. That's not how you want to see your uncle.
No. It's not how you want to see your uncle and then also be like, that's going to happen to me.
Yes.
So it's like doubly terrible.
Yeah. What did I think about it? It was fine.
Are you like good that you got to see it a little bit more?
I don't know what I was seeing though, because they didn't show the like fingers getting longer and stuff. Because we know they just turn into like a big dog, basically.
Yeah, you just saw him just like struggling.
Yeah, and I never liked that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I think maybe audio would have been more powerful than seeing him like laying on the thing. But it's a good scene. You need to have that scene. I thought it was funny that it was like 6 hours long.
I like that it was paired with the journal and Caroline was like reading the description.
Yeah, and also like there was a I forget what it's called, but he was like dragging on the timeline.
Oh yeah, he was like scrubbing or whatever.
Yeah, so he was like, "Oh, this is terrible. Oh, this is terrible. I'm gonna skip like 2 hours."
Yeah, what was too hard to watch?
But also these millennials, they can't watch anything,
People were watching stuff back in the 2000s.
I know, but it's just, this is a terrible, horrible video of what's going to happen to me. Let's see what happens in a couple hours. Mm-hmm. Yep. Damon rolls up on Elena at Slater's house. He whooshed over to Richmond.
Yeah. What are you doing here? What are you doing here?
Alice is starstruck about Damon. She's heard of him. Mm-hmm. I guess
Damon Salvatore? Oh my god.
Slater was telling his vampire historical tales.
You have to go, oh my god, and just make no vowels or consonants.
That's what Alice was like?
No, yeah, but I want you to do it.
Oh my god. Elena she's mad. She doesn't get to make decisions. And
Right.
this time she doesn't want to be saved.
I know. I was telling you that last episode when Stefan came to the tomb, when Elena was just chatting with Catherine, and he's like, I'm going to save you. You're not safe. And she's like, dude, I've been here all day. Everything's chill.
Mm-hmm.
These bros keep trying to save her. She doesn't want it.
They're vamp-splaining, as we've said
Yes.
many times before.
Many times.
Also, chatty Catherine. That's a thing. Chatting with Catherine. Chatty Catherine. Elena throws a punch. She's throwing hands, as we would
At
say.
Damon, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he catches her hand. Mm-hmm. And he's like, don't do that, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. He's
Luke-
like little daddy Damon happening here.
I like that. Luca is feeling Bonnie's spell. She's channeling him. They both pass out. The spell didn't work. And then Stefan runs into the tomb.
He went in to save Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
This is after Jeremy had already thrown out the moonstone. Because when Bonnie and Stefan walk into the tomb area and they see that Jeremy is in the tomb, they just see the moonstone on the ground outside of the tomb. And they're just like, what's this? Why is the moonstone out here? And then that's when they see that Jeremy's in there with Catherine getting his neck bit and sucked like a bunch of times. But they keep doing the what's it called?
Intercutting?
They keep doing this spell so that Stefan can go in and rescue Jeremy.
Right.
But when the spell doesn't work, Stefan's just
Stefan's
like,
I'm in there. And then
I
he
gotta
pushes
go.
Jeremy out of there.
yeah. But he should have also given Jeremy some of his vampire blood because I know that Jeremy came back to life, but also he still has those gashes all over his neck.
Totally. Back to Ty and Caroline. Mason says in his journal, his werewolf journal, that his wolfery.
Because of diary.
It was the worst night of his life, and he's had some pretty rough nights.
It was worse than when he killed that guy that was his friend.
Ty wonders why Caroline is helping her. Why does she care?
Helping him.
Yeah. He needs it. He needs the help.
Yeah.
She was alone when she turned. She killed somebody, Kelly Rowlands. Doesn't want that to happen to Ty. Matt is at the door. Caroline was worried about him. He misses her, and then, Ty, of course, just walks out.
I know.
Go out the back door, Ty.
Or just, sit in the room
Yeah.
and wait.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to make it an even bigger thing than they did.
But that kind of moment is so annoying to me because there's so many assumptions being made. If
Yeah.
that ever happens to you in real life, you just need to be like,
I was here talking about the...
We're friends.
Another thing. Yeah.
we're friends.
Yeah.
But also, I miss you and I love you. And what's wrong with me being friends with your best friend?
Right.
Isn't that goals? # goals?
That, I would say, is a Taylor Swift level of squad goals.
Wait, what were you?
Swad.
Swad, yeah.
Elijah shows up at the same time as Klaus's crew. I think that's what happens.
Cody.
But Cody is related. I mean, not related to, but Cody is there because
They're gonna bring the message to Klaus.
He's a Klaus messenger, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But to me, I just saw a bunch of people showing up. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on. But
yeah, it was the people that they contacted through
Elena,
Slater's computer showed up first.
Cody, for Klaus, but then Elijah was just like behind one of them because of the window stuff.
Yes,
Yep.
You got it.
Got it. Elijah kills Klaus's guys.
Uh-huh.
Damon's like, hey, I killed that guy, Elijah.
Right.
Rose-
They're surprised that he's alive.
Rose is like, pew!
100%.
And there's just like, there's a puff of smoke.
uh-huh.
And then there's like in Slater's wall, there's like a rose-shaped outline in the wall.
Yeah.
She's out of there.
He leaves it so fast.
Yeah. And then Elijah also whooshes away.
Right. So then Elena and Damon and Alice, right, are just left there just like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wait, right? Because Alice didn't get killed.
No, she's around.
Okay.
Luca's dad is back and forth. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Elijah, let Damon live, he tells Luca's dad. He wants Elena safe for now.
Mm-hmm. And he knows that Damon and Stefan are going to keep her safe.
Mm-hmm.
So he's letting it be. Was that a surprise to you?
No.
Yes, it was.
No, but yes, but I understand that he is a character that is written by a room of writers that needs to get to this next episode. This is the middle of the season where there's going to be something big. Jeremy gets home. He's all bitten up. Bonnie's with him. She's mad at him. Stefan is stuck in the tomb
With Catherine.
with Catherine. Jeremy didn't want Bonnie to get hurt. Jeremy tells Bonnie about his crush on her. He says he's been channeling sometimes, thinking about her. And he's like, it's not one-sided.
Mm-hmm.
But Bonnie's like, I can't kiss you.
Yeah, he goes in for the kiss. She doesn't do it.
You're like, you're your little brother. Blah, blah, blah.
No, she doesn't say that. She just says, I can't do this.
Mm-hmm. Damon brings Elena home. And then Jeremy's also there. He breaks the news that Stefan's in the tomb.
Mm-hmm.
Elena goes to the tomb.
But no one even asks Jeremy why his neck is all bit up.
Mm-hmm.
But she goes straight for Stefan.
Wants to go in and get Stefan. Damon won't let her. A lot of Damon vamp handling.
Mm-hmm.
Vamp-splaining, vamp handling.
Yes.
Stefan makes Damon promise that Damon will protect Elena. Just cover the... Oh, I think you said just cover the tomb back up, right? Just put that rock there?
Did I say that?
I don't know.
Who knows what I said?
Catherine says that was the biggest mistake you've ever made.
Oh, yeah. I said that because then Elena couldn't get in. Unless
Oh, yeah.
someone else helped her.
With her hollow-boned bird arms.
Yeah. I mean, Damon and Stefan had to do it together, and they're vampires.
Caroline could do it by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because she was a fresh vamp.
Yeah, who knows? That was just not good playing.
No.
But, what was the last thing you said?
Catherine was like, that was the biggest mistake you've ever made.
Oh, yeah.
Gumshoe
Where in the world is
Carmen Sandiego, Catherine and Stefan.
Katerina Petrova?
There you go. Ash, how many fangs you got?
I made a bold statement last week, and I said I wouldn't do two fangs unless Elena and Stefan were together.
Mm-hmm.
But the episode before that, I gave it two fangs because Damon said I love you to Elena.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have I'm not hard and fast with my rule. But I think I'm going to give this episode like a 1.5 because it's like one of those building up episodes. There's a lot going on, but it wasn't like the episodes where there's all the reveals and stuff.
No. And I have a similar thought process, but I'm being more harsh. One fang.
Only one?
Yes.
We haven't had a one fanger in a long time.
This is a filler episode, Ash. Yes, there were moments. Mm-hmm. And that's why it earned a full fang.
I don't think it's filler.
Filler.
I think it's just they had to like try to do different things.
They had an episode order. They're about to hit 11. I'm looking forward to them. I'm looking forward to them.
No, they had to.
Ash.
Oh, wait.
I'm looking forward to them turning it up to 11.
Yes.
In episode 11.
Yes. I was just going to say they had to set up certain things. Like,
of course.
They had to set up that it's almost a full moon and this is Tyler's whole thing. There's just a lot of setting up. Stefan and Catherine are in the tomb. Now, Damon is in charge of Elena or whatever. And then the Bonnie and Jeremy stuff. And
yes.
they did little check-ins. They set everyone up.
They are like an octopus, Ash, juggling. And in this particular, you could say, Ash,
what?
that a season of television, this is going to be bad, but it's an octopus juggling, Ash. And just this past episode was just 8 arms holding balls. We see that they're about to throw them in the air, right? Episode 11, hopefully. But when I'm watching this particular episode, I just see an octopus with a handful of balls.
Maybe they're just like picking up the balls. Like this one goes here and this one goes
That's
here.
not how juggling works, Ash.
I know, but you have to pick up the balls and put them in your hands first, and then you juggle them.
Well, I would think that they did that in the pilot episode.
I'm saying this is a long metaphor.
I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing octopus balls.
All right, octopus balls. Great.
Pete-dictions.
Yes. Anything besides octopus balls?
Squid testicles. Okay, next episode is the middle of the season, Ash. There's going to be something big. It'll be the full moon. That will bring a lot of things going on. Ooh, I wonder if there's some kind of... So Ty will be turning. Probably Caroline will be helping with that in some kind of way. But that puts her in danger.
Yes.
Okay, so that'll be a good little C story, Caroline story. There will be chaos because of the full moon. The moonstone will be doing something because of the moon. I feel like there's going to be a new character or something who's going to come and be like, on a full moon, the moonstone does this thing that we've never explained before.
Yeah, some new information.
And then it'll solve like a big problem and maybe, the moon opens up the tomb or something like that. So something big will be solved next episode. Ooh, are we going to see a Klaus appearance? I think we might.
Okay.
Elijah's going to make some big move.
You're like really into this halfway point.
Yeah, I think it's a thing.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I think it'll start a new chapter.
Okay.
I think these chapters start with no forewarning. I think I think this one is ended and now we're going to throw a bunch of octopus balls up in the air. Like you're going to meet 7 new people. Oh, there's a Slater, there's an Alice, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, when they start a new chapter, you're just like, oh, this is the new chapter.
Yeah.
You can't really predict when they start.
So I didn't expect any of this stuff to be going on. Luca, his dad, all this stuff. But I'm looking forward to that ep.
Yeah, it'd be a good one.
Yep.
Cool. Good Pete-dictions.
Ash, if you like the Vampire Diaries and or you are a young adult, you should check out my young adult book series, The Happenstances, at tinyurl.com/thehappenstances. And you know what? I put out a little horror anthology, some short stories, a spooky poem. Horror from the High Dive. tinyurl.com/H from the HD. For any questions or concerns, follow me at Peter L. Harmon on Twitter or Instagram. Don't tweet spoilers. Ash. Today,
What?
which as the listeners are hearing this, it was yesterday. Today is the 4-year anniversary of the last episode of the Vampire Diaries.
Oh, it is?
Today.
Wow.
And there's some movement on Twitter about it, but I could not read it.
No, you can't read it.
People were saying like what their favorite episode was, and I was like, I do not want to know.
No, I'm not on Twitter, so I didn't see any of that.
So I was gonna say don't tweet spoilers,
But
and I also shouldn't go there looking for them.
Don't look.
But happy one day after the 4-year anniversary of the last episode or whatever it is.
I think you said it right.
Where were you on that day?
I remember struggling hard to try to watch this finale.
Really?
Yeah, I had to watch it on Vimeo on the computer or at my old iPad or something.
Were you current?
At that point, yeah.
Whoa, I've never met someone in real life that was current on Vampire Diaries. You weren't binging?
Oh, it was a tough find.
That's cool. To be current on a show,
we don't have television. That's why.
This was a network show, CW.
You couldn't just watch the CW on our TV.
Wow.
Yeah.
The modern age. Ash.
What?
If you personally love the show,
Which I do.
rate, and I'm talking about our show, not Vampire Diaries. I'm talking about specifically our podcast.
I also like our podcast.
Me too. Rate and or review this Rocky Balboa.
Do it.
All right, we end very abruptly. I'm going to give you the last word.
Boo.